Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It has been a while. It's been almost a month since I made a video. It's been like 2 weeks since I've uploaded a video. It was probably the worst January on record for us and my family. My wife had emergency appendix surgery at the beginning of January, which put her out of anything for 2 weeks. So I kind of took over the household stuff with the kids. So I wasn't able to work much, kind of just here and there. As the day after she started feeling better and was able to start walking around, I got hit with a flu 2 weeks ago. And so the flu completely wiped me out for a solid week. And then my kids got it. And so it's been an interesting 4.5 weeks. But anyways, we are back. I'm feeling 90% better. A little bit of a stuffy nose, but other than that, I can't complain. Etsy has been staying pretty steady. That was quite the task, keeping up with that while dealing with the flu. Got most of my stuff restocked. My office is a complete disaster because of not being able to do much. Yesterday, I spent half the day doing maintenance on my machines, taking everything apart, getting grease off the lead screws, new grease, new oil on the rails, cleaning the beds, redoing calibrations on everything. I try to do that once a month, but it's been 2 or 3 months since I did it. So I did that yesterday. H2S is still doing great. 483 hours so far on the H2S in the last month. Not a whole ton of hours. I guess it's been about a month and a week now that I've owned this thing. Comparative to, my P2S or P1S's. This one's got 5,844 hours. This one has 6,924 hours, almost 7,000 hours on it. I don't think my A1s have a whole ton of hours on them, but I do print quite a bit, so I could be wrong there. Yeah, this A1 has 1 hour shy of 1,900 hours. Which is my youngest A1. This one over here I've ran probably like 4 months longer. 2,287 hours. And I haven't used this machine much at all in probably 4 months. I'm still having wall issues with this printer. The only thing I haven't really done with that printer is replace the major control board. I've replaced everything, including the extruder assembly. Basically, the whole print head has been replaced. New heating block, new nozzles, new extruder board, all the boards on there, new fan. And it's still having issues. Replaced the SD card, reformatted the printer, factory reset, re-updated the printer. It still has these weird wall issues where the outer wall is not connected to the print. I use a torch on all my prints to clean them up, just to get kind of the hairs off. When you do it with that printer, the wall completely separates from the outside of the print. So I have not been able to dial that in. I released a few new products. I don't remember if I put them in the last video. My last video, we went through and designed this mount in Fusion. I've been selling quite a bit of those. We designed new light mounts for the Lays Fit LEDs. Here we are right here. So these put the lights at a 25 degree so you can use them on the side of a truck for scene lighting. The nice thing about these is they are white and amber switchable lights. So now I offer the Lays Fit, I offer the Harbor Freight and Ironman rock lights, and then the Baja Design rock lights. I actually sold a couple of the Baja Design ones, so I'm almost out, so I need to print those today. But I believe that's it for new prints. I did a custom print yesterday for somebody. He wanted a slight change in one of my designs, so I redid that and sent it out to him. This video is about packaging, Etsy order and online order packaging. Over the years, I used to get free boxes from UPS, but as of all the Reddit posts lately as well, they have slowly been cutting people off of getting free boxes from them. I do ship with UPS every once in a while. Not a whole ton. I understand why they stopped sending free stuff out to people that don't use them full time. Smart business choice. So I order a lot of my boxes on Amazon. It's the fastest and cheapest. I've actually found them cheaper than ordering through Uline because I don't order like thousands of boxes at a time. I only order about 100 boxes at a time. I carry a few sizes. Those are all here. A 10 by 7 by 5, a 10 by 7 by 3, a 5 cubed, 8 by 6 by 2, and a 5 by 2. And then some some small padded envelopes for small orders. In the past, I've done this a few different ways. When I get the boxes, just get a box of empty boxes. I've got a clean slate. When I first started doing Etsy, I didn't do anything, and then I switched over. I watched a video, I think it was Uncle Jesse, but it could be somebody else, I don't remember, about making a stamp with 3D printing. The bottom of this stamp is TPU with one wall and one top and bottom layer, printed in reverse. Then I just made a kind of a handle out of PETG, super glued the two together. So I would just stamp, get this nice and wet, get it lined up, go through, push down one time, and I'd get a branded box. Problem with that, not 100% perfect all the time. For some reason, it takes forever to dry ink on cardboard, especially white. The brown soaks in really fast and dries. So I'd have to do a bunch of these, stack them all individually to let them dry, hit them with a heat gun to dry them, and sometimes they'd still smear. Kind of took forever, especially waiting for them to dry and then reboxing them back up. After that, I switched over. I believe it was Sam from SamCraft did a video. I could be wrong. I'm almost positive it was him though, about getting heat transfer stickers and just putting them through the label maker that I use for shipping. So I found these holographic stickers, and I'd load 400 of them in at one time and just hit print, and it'd print 400 of these. It's just a heat transfer. Let me grab a torch here. So heat, just heat. They were okay. I still do it every once in a while. I do it on the padded envelopes. Just one more thing for me to do. I found this little sticker dispenser on Maker World. I'll link that below if I can find it. I printed this out like 2 years ago. Sam uses like an actual device for that that kind of feeds through, so you just pull it down and the sticker pops off. Kind of like this last order of these doesn't work very well. But usually the sticker comes off the top of there. The first couple of rolls I did of this, it worked perfect. Just takes a little while. It takes me 20 minutes to get everything loaded up, change the settings in my printer, print them. It is what it is. They look okay on the boxes, holographic, so they stick out. But I kind of stopped doing that a little while ago. Sometimes I put stickers in my boxes. I don't really do a whole lot of advertising on my boxes. All the stuff I sell is self-advertised. People that want it already know about me. If you haven't seen my videos, I sell parts for overland stuff, campers. Lone Peak overland campers based out of Wenatchee is what I do a lot of my stuff on. Some of the stuff is universal. Sometimes I used to put these stickers in boxes. Back when I only did like 1 or 2 orders a day. Now that I do like 10, 12 orders a day, I go through my stickers really fast. I do have a vinyl plotter, so I do my own stickers. It's just another thing that's time consuming. If you saw one of my last videos, I was working on my K40 laser. I've got this fully dialed in and it's working great now. Had to make my own laser head. I ended up 3D printing one. Everything works good. I was out here last week looking at my empty boxes. This also takes forever. But what I've been doing this week is going through and I'm actually putting every single box individually into my laser cutter. And I use light burn. I made a design. I've got a couple of these saved for my different size boxes. But what I do is I take an empty box. These ones are a little different because they're a small box, and so I actually only do something on the back of them. But I put them in here. I line them up to the bottom edge. Since the boxes are I use one of my welding blocks to hold it down. Might get loud because I have air assist. We're going to cut this one here, or I guess engrave it on the box, but we'll hit start. I could go slightly faster, but I get the best detail and look when it goes about this speed, which is about 50 millimeters a second, so it's not super slow. Just takes a minute or so to do all the boxes. And this box is done. There's no drying, there's no anything. And then when I fold the box, I've got the U-lag on the back, and I've got the Bigfoot and the U-lag on the bottom. I went through and did about 100 of my 10 by 7 by 3 boxes. I only did it on the sides, but then I was thinking, well, I have the whole length here. So I'll get this lined on the bottom. Okay, I already have the U-lag there, but here, that's what this bigger one on the side is here. We'll hit start on that. So when I do more, I'll do the small one and the big one at the same time, so this is all one operation. Basically, what I'm doing is when I'm out here working on other projects, I set the box in while I'm working on something else. I just keep working on it. If I'm working on a design in Fusion down on this computer, and I just slowly go through and brand all my boxes. So now for basically no cost to me, like always, I try to do things as cheap as possible, and I try to do things myself. If you've ever looked into branded boxes, you know how expensive they are. The more you order, the cheaper they are, but they're still a lot more expensive than just an unbranded box. But me personally, I feel a branded box makes you look a little more professional, adds a little pizzazz to your packaging. And so now it is very subtle, but it's on all of my packaging, and it looks like I paid for professional packaging, when in fact all I did was bought basic stuff for cheap and did it myself. That's how I end up with all my tools. I'm sure a lot of people, not just guys, I was gonna say a lot of guys, but a lot of people are like that in general. That's how I get a lot of my tools, is I need to do one project. I can either pay somebody $1,000 to do a project, or I can spend $5,000 on the tool and do it myself. Might not look as professional, but I get a tool out of it and I can use it forever, and at some point it'll pay for itself off. My printer, I needed a part for something, my very first printer actually, which is down there underneath my desk. It's a Wanhao i3 duplicator, basically a Chinese knockoff of a million of the printers that were out 14 years ago. I got that because I needed to print a part for an old dresser I had, and I got into 3D printing, and now I have owned like 17 different printers over the years. Laser cutter was the same way. I needed to make some trophies. 7 or 8 years ago I got that. It's just a K40 laser, 40 watt CO2 laser. I needed to make something. I had a shop quote me out. That thing was like $250, I think, back in the day on eBay. And I've had it, and it's paid for itself a million times over. I used to make custom coasters. I think I showed you guys on one of my last videos. My wife found some Valentine's Day stuff for my kids to go take to school. I could have bought them online. I can make it myself for cheaper, because I already had the laser cutter. That's actually why I got the laser cutter reset up. I hadn't touched this in like 3 years. I went down the rabbit hole of making it a larger cutter, and so I got those Valentines done. I already had a ton of extrusion sitting around, and now I have a K40 that cuts like 2.5 feet wide by 1 foot deep versus the little tiny cut area I made this custom box out of extrusion and wood that holds all the stuff that used to be on this side of the vinyl, or on this side of the laser cutter. So now it's just an empty box with extrusion and a laser tube, and everything is from the side. My plasma table's the same way. My tire machines are the same way. I used to go through tires every 6 months. Had a few tire shops mess up wheels. I bought tire machines. They've paid for themselves 100 times over for doing tires and stuff. If you've got the means and you've got the knowledge or the ability to learn how to use something, buying the tools is always going to be the best way to go. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, if you think that was a good decision. So this is just an ink stamp. Then we had, like I said, the holographic stickers that I used to just put kind of on the side, which is decent, kind of flashy, I guess. Catches your eye. But after going through the mail, these always showed up. People were sending me pictures. People tried to peel these off and put them on their own stuff, not realizing that they're just cheap. They scratch super easy. They get in the heat and they're just going to disappear. The longest is probably the laser. That takes a little bit longer than any of that, obviously, at the end of the day, because it takes a minute to set up the machine to print these out, but I can print out 400 of them at a time. But I kind of like the look, of the laser. Super low power, 10%, 10% at 15%. So like 1.5% of the actual power. Not enough to cut through it, just enough to mark the cardboard. But I think I like the look of that. I went through and did all of these boxes a couple days ago. Don't mind my stack of boxes here. I save boxes for my Starlink mini mounts that I sell, which I actually sold one more today. So I save Amazon boxes so I don't have to custom order boxes, because that's the biggest thing I sell. Let me know down in the comments how you guys brand your packaging, if you do at all, or what you guys think, if the laser stuff looks better than the other two, or if you think that the stamp or the sticker looks better. I think for now, though, like I said, I really do like the look of that, and so I think I'm just going to stick with that for right now. I'll probably change my mind a million times down the road. These boxes, they're like 65 cents a piece. They're not too expensive, and like with everything, you just work that into your price. But yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys think, how you guys do it, if you do it, and yeah, let me know if there's anything you guys want to know. Just noticed my U fell off. It's right here on my U. I used to do a bunch of light boxes. I designed that when we moved into this house. Don't know if they're plugged in or not. It's behind the H2S. They're on switches, but I used to make a ton of. I have a whole stack of light boxes under my desk. I don't know where they're at, but I used to make a ton of light boxes. Maybe I can do a video on how to make light boxes if you guys want to know. They're fairly easy to do. I just make them in Fusion, make them in two parts, the base and the top. And then I just keep a bunch of LEDs. Sometimes I keep loose LEDs that I wire in with USB-C plugs. Sometimes I buy some with USB plugs already on them with switches. Kind of just depends on what's on sale or what I feel like doing. But lately, every time I make them with a USB-C plug on the bottom. You can just plug into a USB-C cord. But if you guys want to know how to make light boxes, maybe I could do a video on that. Or let me know down in the comments anything you guys want to see, if it's business related, 3D printing related. Maybe this summer I'll get more into plasma table stuff, if you guys want to know about that. I'm actually going to start doing a lot more metal projects here upcoming pretty soon for Lone Peak campers, hopefully. Yeah, if there's any projects if you guys want me to show you every once in a while, I print. Like I said, this is all PLA on the top shelf here. All the colored stuff is PLA. I don't really do a whole lot of toy stuff anymore. But my printers have been sitting idle the last day or two. It was a slow beginning of the week after I got caught up with everything. So maybe we can start doing like a cool print Fridays, or I know there's a lot of functional print Fridays and stuff a lot of other channels do. So maybe we can do some kind of channel that I just find a couple cool models, we print them out, put them together and see how they work, and then add them to my junk bin of stuff that I'll never touch again. But let me know down in the comments. Appreciate all you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one.